Hello fellow singer, it's Mimi here, and in this video I'll talk about breathing and 3 extremely common mistakes that I see so often in my students and myself that can make singing so much more difficult and affect the way that you sound. There are a lot of old myths about how to breathe when singing and how it's been emphasized in voice training. But don't worry, after this video you will not only know what to avoid in breathing when singing, but you will also learn how to try it out to feel the difference, so you don't have to take my word for it. Before we get started, just a quick reminder to subscribe my channel, Sing with Mimi, to keep exploring your voice with me and to support my channel. And if you find this video helpful, just give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you being here. Feel free to say hi in the comments below. I would love to get to know you as well. Now, let's get started. Superficial breathing can trigger settings in the larynx, such as constriction, that may not be very helpful for an amazing voice. This is why learning diaphragm breathing is a great skill for singers. And not only singers, for any human being, unless you have a condition that prevents you from doing this. Diaphragm breathing signals your body that you are safe, helping nervous singers to calm down the body from the fight or flight stress response. This will help you to focus and release tension in your vocal tract and body. Diaphragm breathing is also a great way to breathe in the optimal amount of air, and also it happens really quickly, so you're able to breathe in very fast in between the phrases when you sing. First, I want you to push all of the air out with a hissing sound and place your hands on your belly so that you can really feel the movement. So let's do this. Shh. And then relax the abdominal muscles and let the air drop in. I know many people are quite used to holding it in and tensing the core, but for this I want you to kind of let the belly be really loose. Let's try this again. Everything out. Shh. Then relax the belly, let the air drop in. Nice. So I don't want you to pull in the air, I just want you to let the air drop in. You don't have to pull in any more air than the amount that kind of naturally comes in, filling your lungs. If you have a mirror, a good idea would be to look at yourself from the mirror to make sure that you don't lift your shoulders. Let's try it. Everything out. Shh. Relax the belly, let the air drop in. Amazing. You should feel your hands moving outwards as your belly expands. So, why not to suck the belly in? Because when we inhale in the diaphragm breathing, the diaphragm contracts and pulls downward and kind of presses the organs lower, which creates the movement in the belly, even though obviously the lungs are not in the belly. This is why you may have heard saying breathe into your belly or sing from the diaphragm, even though these phrases might be a little bit misleading. What? I was just telling you to not breathe superficially, and now I'm telling you to not breathe in too much air. How does that make sense? Well, I will explain it to you, and even better, I will show you. But first, I will explain it to you. We do want to use the diaphragm breathing to breathe in the optimal amount of air. You may have noticed that as you let the air drop in and it kind of all happens quite automatically. The lungs filled up, but there's still some space for some extra air. So you would be able to pull in a little bit more air to fill up your lungs properly. As you do this, the pressure in your lungs keeps increasing, and it becomes more and more challenging to resist the urge to let the air out. And therefore, it becomes harder and harder for you to control the outcoming air. And this is why it makes it more difficult for you to sing this way. Does this make any sense? Well, let's give it a try. Let's try to breathe in just the kind of comfortable amount that automatically comes in from the diaphragm breathing. So let's use the hissing sound to push all of the air out. Shh. Then relax the belly, let the air drop in. Don't take any more air in, and then hold your breath. And as you hold your breath, I want you to pay attention to the sensations in your larynx. How much pressure do you feel? Let's do this one more time. Everything out. Shh. Relax the belly. Hold. Amazing. And then we're gonna try to do the same thing, but we're gonna keep pulling the air in until your lungs are completely filled up as much as you can, and then hold your breath and feel the sensations in your larynx and how much pressure you have in your larynx. Everything out. Shh. Relax, let the air drop in. Pull more. Hold. Amazing, well done. And now compare which one felt more comfortable, which one was more easy to control, which one had more pressure in the larynx. I'm just gonna leave it out there for you to choose which one do you think would serve your voice better. Breathing in too much air may cause the voice to break when you try to reach those high notes, because of the pressure grows too high for your vocal folds. This is especially as you reach those higher notes because the vocal folds are stretched, so they can handle a little bit less pressure from the airflow. It can also make your sound more breathy, and ironically, it can make you to run out of air too quickly. Breathing in too much air can make singing feel more uncomfortable overall because of the pressure on our vocal folds, and especially when you get nervous, this can ruin a lot for you. I would really take this on board and explore what is the optimal amount for you to breathe when you sing. This will partly sort itself out as you breathe in the optimal amount of air and not too much, because it becomes easier for you to control the outcoming air. However, some singers are more prone to push the air out more, almost like doing a little bit too much when you start to sing. And maybe even some languages have these tendencies more than the other languages. For example, I am Finnish and I've really struggled with this. I feel like Finnish language is quite straightforward. So for singing, it's a little bit too much pressure, and I've really had to look into that and pay attention to it. But also, it just depends how you're used to using your voice. I've also noticed in myself that when I become a little bit more nervous, I tend to push more air out. So I need to really focus on that when I'm in the situation that feels a little bit stressful. Let's try this out as well. Pick a vowel and any pitch and try it first with pushing a lot of air out and see how it feels. E. It feels quite uncomfortable. And then try to do the same thing lighter without reducing the volume of the sound. You can also pay attention to your abdominal muscles here. Often when we push a lot of air out, we tense the abdominal muscles as well. You can explore with this as well as you sing and do little phrases of your song. Pushing too much air out makes singing overall more uncomfortable due to the pressure on the vocal folds, and it may cause tickling, scratching, even pain in your vocal folds, which we want to avoid at any cost. It can also make the sound a bit too harsh and even make it more difficult to control pitch. We've come to the end of this chapter in our lives, but the journey continues. Thank you so much for exploring your voice with me. Let me know in the comments below how you felt about the exercises and perhaps if you discovered something new about your voice. Remember that consistent, short practice sessions as often as possible over a longer period of time is the key to success. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel Sing with Mimi and give me a thumbs up. I will leave you to practice now. Bye now. Bye 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 bye.